Carne. Hi everybody, Robert Jones back in the kitchen, and I'm excited today. We are cooking some chile con carne. Carne. So this is a chili recipe that is mostly meat. This is going to be about 6.5 pounds of meat. Now, of course, you can make a much smaller recipe, but I'm going to use my giant Insta Pot and make a big old thing. It's going to go in the freezer. It's going to go for lunches. It's going to go for dinners. It's going to go as a topping. It's going to go as a soup. It's going to go for everything. So I'm excited you guys are here. Welcome to the channel. If you've never been here before, I am back to doing some cooking for you guys. I have had all kinds of stuff going on. Working on my Amazon store, working on my Etsy store, working on some other videos, and you can check out stuff on my other channel. All right, so what are we doing today? We are making this. Let me grab it here. I have one set up. We're gonna make this beautiful chili. Can you guys see that? Chili, I try not to spill it. Chili! I'm excited to show you guys how to make this chili. It is not that hard. It is most delicious. It's going to be lots of meat goodness. This one's going to be beef. You can do turkey, you can do pork, you can do whatever you like. In this case, I'm just doing beef because that's what I got. So, all right, let's get to making. All right, you guys, we got all our goodies here. We've got our ground beef and spices and several types of tomato. Our beans that have been soaking. Those are Peruvian beans. Tell you more about that later. Our Insta Pot, the stuff that goes in the Insta Pot, can opener, you know, and some vegetables over here. So let's get to whacking our vegetables up. Okay, guys, we've got our vegetables here. We've got some onions, we've got some Pasilla Chilies, and we got some Serranos. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a cookie sheet, and I'm just going to put some foil over it real quick, just so it stays clean. And I'm going to pop these in the oven under the broiler for about 10 minutes each side until they are crispy. So we're just going to roast those real quick. The idea is to get the skin off of them. So there you go, fancy. And in the meantime, we can just cut up our onions. Okay, and since we're doing everything in the Insta Pot, we can just start building the flavors right into the pot. I'm sure you guys can see that. So there's our pot, and I've just got our onions. And then into our pot, I'm just going to start building our flavors because it is going to cook as a stew. We are going to brown the meat on the stove, but we can just start doing this here. So I'm just going to put in 2 tablespoons of black pepper. Going to put in 1 tablespoon of just plain paprika. Put in about 1/2 tablespoon. Actually, let's use the measurements so we can write it down later. I'm going to start with about 2 teaspoons of the chili flakes. 2 giants of oregano, 2 teaspoons of chili powder, and since cumin is my favorite spice in the whole world, I'm probably going to put about 2. I'm measuring this for you guys. Normally I wouldn't measure this. I would just put it in. So let's call it 1, and let's call it 2, because that's the end of the jar. So 2 tablespoons of cumin. And then just because I have it on hand, I have some New Mexico ground chilies. And just because that I have it on hand, I have some New Mexico ground chilies, which I'm spilling everywhere. So I'm going to add a big teaspoon of that to there. All right, and we're gonna have lots of beans and we're gonna have meat. So let's just go ahead and add the salt now. We'll taste it later. So let's add 2 teaspoons of salt now, and we're gonna taste later, so we'll probably add more. So that's it for the spices. Okay guys, check it out. That's 10 minutes under the broiler for the chilies. You can see they're nice and black there. I'm just gonna flip these over, not too hot, and put them back in for 10 more minutes just to get the other side roasted. Here I have the Peruvian beans. They're like a yellow bean, and I just soaked them overnight. You can see them here. They're nice and yellow. Make sure when you get these, they're super cheap and they're super delicious, but make sure when you get them that you go through and make sure there's no stones or sticks or anything else. It's very important because every once in a while I will find a stone, and nobody wants to find a stone in their bean. So let me just drain these off and we'll put them in the pot as well. So these are not cooked, these are raw. Just rehydrated overnight. Okay guys, so I thought I'd show you what these look like. So these are what the beans look like when they're dry. They're kind of a yellowy green color, and once you have rehydrated them, they look like this. So you can see they've gotten about 3 times larger, and they're a little bit paler in color. This is 1 pound dry beans, rehydrated. This is not 1 pound, but this is 1 pound. Rehydrated, it probably weighs a good 2 pounds. So those are rehydrated, and I'm just putting those in with all the spices. Okay, you guys, here's what your chilies are gonna look like. They look horrible, but don't worry. This is just the outside skin flaking off. So this is 10 minutes aside, nice and dark charred. That's what we want because we want to get that skin off there. So all I do is I just dump them, literally, into the bowl where my beans were. They can get off there. And then just take the same foil and just cover them up. And then let them sleep for 10 minutes. So while they sleep, they're gonna steam and all the goodness is gonna happen, and then the skins are gonna come on right off. It's gonna be magic. Just watch. While your chilies are steaming in the bowl nicely, you can see that, I have a frying pan, and I have 6.5 pounds of ground beef. This is a huge amount of ground beef, but this is gonna be like a week-long thing. So all I'm gonna do is put that in the pan. We're gonna take it over to the stove, and we're just gonna brown it off. I don't think you need to see me do that. Just put it over high heat and just cook it through and chop it into little pieces. And then I thought, well, maybe they do want to see me brown this, so let's brown some meat. There you go, browned meat. That's very exciting. So let's go put it in the pot. All right, remember our chili peppers. Voila, they have steamed. You can see it's nice and wet in here. And they have steamed, they've let off a little bit of juice. And all we're gonna do is take these out. They're not hot anymore now. I'm going to put the extra juice in the pot because it's flavor. All right, and then all you do is just pull off the skins. It comes off really easily. So you see the charred, all right, do one at a time. See the nice charred skin, it just comes off. Look at that, that amazing. There you go. Our chilies are all done. If you do not want to do chilies, you don't have to. You can totally buy them canned. All right, we're just going to add our chilies in here. Bloop. Just like that. And you remember our ground beef. Now, this is a lot of juice and fat. If you don't want it, take it out. I have no other fat going in here except from the meat. So I want to leave a little bit for myself. Depending on what type of ground beef you are using, that is up to you. All right, I'm just putting all the beef in here slowly because it's giant, because I can never cook anything small. Almost. Now remember, the meat is the main ingredient here, so don't be freaked out by like, oh my God, there's so much meat. It's not about the beans in this one. This one is about the meat. This is chili con carne with beans, not chili with meat. Okay, now give it a stir, and remember that your Insta Pot needs to have a little bit of a head on it. It has a line somewhere around here that tells us how much we can or cannot. So, okay, so I'm just giving it a little stir here, just to show you that the stuff is in there. All right. Now, this is up to you as well. I am using pre-chopped garlic, and I'm going to use about 3 tablespoons. So there's about 3 tablespoons of garlic, maybe just a touch more. That is up to you, how you want to do it. And then I have both tomato sauce and diced tomatoes. So I'm going to start with one of each and see how it goes. I don't want to overfill our pot. So here comes sauce. Now, as much as I love sauce, I also love the pieces because I like to see pieces in there. But that's totally my preference. If you want just sauce, you can do that as well. All right, let's see. We're getting pretty full here. I think we're all right. Again, this is my giant recipe, and I will totally put the recipe down below, and you guys can alter it any way you want to be. Or if you want to make a half recipe, you can do that too. All right, I'm gonna go for the last can of sauce here. Now the beans are already soaked, so they're not gonna need a lot of water. And the meat has the water there, and the tomato sauce has water. So I think we are good on liquids. Just can't see them at the, yeah, I can see them there at the bottom. All right, so I'm gonna give this a stir, and we're gonna put it in the Insta machine. Oh, that looks so good, you guys. All right, I'm gonna tamp it down. Okay, so if anybody is not used to using an Insta Pot, this is an Insta Pot. Basically, oh, it makes music, see? It is a pressure cooker. It has a little popper here. You guys see the little popper? There it is. When it gets to temperature, the popper comes up, it seals it. There's a release of the steam or keeping the steam in, and it pressure cooks it. And then it goes on like this, and then you lock it down, and then you cook. So here's what we're gonna do. Open it up. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a towel, and I'm gonna go around the rim, and I'm gonna make sure it's super clean because it seals with a gasket, and we don't want to have it not seal. So you can see there's some stuff there. I'll go around a little bit deeper. We wanna make sure it gets a good seal. Also, this can be used as a slow cooker. So if you're doing a slow cooker recipe, you can do that too. But here's what I'm doing. All right, I am putting this in here as such. I believe we're below the fill line, which is you need a head for pressure. So I'm putting this on. I'm closing it. You guys see that? I'm gonna scoot it up a bit. There you go. I'm putting this, make sure this is on this. There's a little valve back here, if you can see. It's on steam closed. What I want you to see more is this. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna set it to pressure cook for 30 minutes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 30 minutes. Okay. 30 minutes, so it's going to build up a head of steam, it's going to pressure cook for 30 minutes, and then we're going to let it come down naturally. So that's probably going to be about an hour of cook time total. Oh, it's already going. So, There you go. So I'm just going to let this go. It's going to heat up. It's going to beep in probably about 10 minutes, and then it's going to pressurize, and then it's going to come down. So we're probably going to give it about 30 and 20, so that'll be 50 total. All right, you guys, our popper has gone down. We have released the steam. Let's check it out. I'm going to unplug this just to be sure. Boop. Voila! Chili! Oh, it smells so good. There you go. Take a big look. Now remember, this is a giant recipe. You do not have to make a giant recipe, but I always cook for a crowd because I always have a crowd. But check it out. Oh, look at that. It looks so good. Okay, you guys, check it out. It is done. It is super nice and rich. Now, the thing I'm most concerned about is the beans. So let's take a little taste of the beans. We want to make sure that they are cooked through and creamy. Beans are nice and soft, delicious. Now, if you notice, this is a meat chili. This is a meat chili with beans. This is not a bean chili with meat. So now you may want to make a much smaller batch. I always cook for a crowd. This is going to be a week's meals for lunches for raccoon and such. And we'll probably put this over some potatoes or just eat it with tortillas or whatever else. So just wanted you guys to take a nice, good look at that. Of course, this will always taste better a day or so later if you want to let it sit, but I'm going to taste it for you guys now. Okay, you guys, you made it to the end of this video. I'm so excited for you. Now you know how to make this chili con carne. It is not that hard to make, honestly. You don't have to roast the chilies yourself if you don't want to. You can buy them in a can all ready to go. That's just a little step that I like to do to give it a little zing and flavor of my own. And I happen to have some chilies on hand. You can make this as big or as small as you want. I'm going to put the full-size recipe here. You can half it down, you can quarter it down, you can do anything you want. If you don't have an Insta Pot, you can do it in the oven, you can do it on the stovetop. You just need to make sure that you cook the beans thoroughly because that's the thing that's going to take the longest. What else? Oh, you can also use pre-cooked beans. You don't have to do them from dry if you don't want to. All right, you guys, it is the moment you've been waiting for. Woo! It is time to give it a test. And I am excited. I've got this thing sitting here. I have been doing all kinds of stuff, and I'm so excited to finally get to taste it. It's a little hot. I need a towel to hold the bowl. It's a little hot. All right, got my trusty towel here, and I got a bowl. It is a big old bowl, but I wanted to take some nice thumbnail pictures for you guys. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to taste the juice. That is nice and rich. Ooh, it has a little kick to it too. Again, you can adjust the amount of peppers you want. I like it spicy. All right, let's give the meat portion a try here. You can see we've got some meat here. We got some chilies here. I got a bean in there. Let's give it a try. It's hot. It's been cooking. Oh, that is so good. The meat is nice and tender. Let's try one of the beans again. Nice and creamy. I love these Peruvian beans. If you guys haven't had them, you should give them a try. You can make it with pinto, you can make it with kidney, but trust me, when you have these Peruvian yellow beans, you'll never go back. They're so nice and creamy. The skins are thin. Unlike kidney beans, you kind of get that chewy skin. These are nice and smooth. All right, one more bite. I hope you guys give this a try. It's not a hard recipe. Seriously, it's all in one pot. Okay. Gotta wipe my mouth. I hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for coming by and cooking with me today. I hope you guys give this a try. It is super easy. It's great for big groups of people like your family or your friends or maybe your game night or your sports game night or your card game night. Whatever it is. All right, you guys. Let's see. Oh, do all the things. Like, subscribe, click the bell. If you guys would like, you can subscribe to my second channel. It is Struggle Soup. It's down below. I'd love to have you guys come by. It's more of a vlog style. I also do garage sailing and Amazon sales and book things and repair stuff and all kinds of crafts and stuff like that. So it's going to have a bunch more videos coming online. And I'd love to have you guys subscribe. Okay, if you'd like to support the channel, check out below. You can check out my Etsy store. You can check out my Amazon store. Love to send you guys some books or some other goodies you might be looking for. Okay, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you next time. I'm Robert Jones. This is Eudaemonius Mark II. We'll take care. No, we'll take care. You'll take care. We'll see you next time. Take care. Gonna eat some chili and then I'm gonna go to the gym.